bragged to the whole paint crew about how smart he was. The neighbors had come out to watch. Mrs. Hendricks from next door shook her head. He had 10 guys here with sprayers. Said you gave him permission to express himself. We knew something was wrong, but he showed us those articles about squatters' rights. My phone rang. It was Tom from the paint store. Hey, I heard about what happened to your grandmother's house. Just wanted you to know something interesting. What's that, Tom? Well, Lyle came in last week, bought $8,000 worth of our premium series paint. Paid cash. But here's the thing. He specifically asked for the stuff that bonds permanently. Said he wanted it to be impossible to remove. Tom paused. That paint he used? It's got lead-based primer underneath. We haven't sold that in 15 years. He must have gotten it from some shady supplier to save money, then covered it with our good stuff on top. I asked Tom why that mattered. Lead paint violations are federal crimes, he explained. EPA fines start at $37,000 per day. And if he disturbed existing lead paint without proper remediation, that's criminal charges. Plus, anyone who knowingly applies lead paint to a rental property they don't own, that's considered environmental terrorism. I thanked Tom and turned to Lyle, who was still grinning like he'd won the lottery. Lyle, did you check what kind of primer you used? He waved me off. Who cares about primer? The important thing is this house is mine now, or will be in 6 months. Janet pulled out her tablet. Actually, Mr. Wooten, adverse possession in this state requires 24 months of hostile possession. You've been here 18. But more importantly, you've been paying rent every month. She showed him his payment history. Adverse possession requires occupation without permission. Every rent payment you made is legal acknowledgement that you're a tenant, not an owner. You can't claim squatters' rights while simultaneously paying rent. Lyle's face went red. Then I'll stop paying rent. Janet smiled. Then you'll be evicted in 30 days for non-payment. An eviction resets any adverse possession claim to 0. But here's the real problem, Mr. Wooten. She pulled up environmental regulations on her tablet. The screen glowed with official government seals and dense legal text. Janet scrolled through section after section, her finger tapping each violation as she read them aloud. Federal law prohibits the application of lead-based paint on any residential property constructed after 1978, and it absolutely prohibits applying it to rental properties, regardless of construction date. She turned the tablet so Lyle could see the numbers. Violations start at $37,000 per day. That's not a typo. Per day. Not a one-time fine. Lyle's grin cracked at the edges. His beer can paused halfway to his mouth. Mrs. Hendricks leaned over her fence to hear better, and I noticed 3 other neighbors had wandered closer to their property lines. This was better entertainment than anything on cable. Janet kept reading. Environmental contamination of a rental property occupied by tenants carries additional penalties under the Clean Air Act and requires immediate EPA notification. She looked up at Lyle. The moment Tom called your landlord, he was legally required to report this. The EPA already knows. Lyle set his beer down on the porch railing. His folder of internet articles suddenly looked very thin compared to Janet's tablet full of actual federal regulations. I pulled out my phone and called Tom back. Can you email me everything you have on Lyle's purchase? Every receipt, every question he asked, everything. Tom's voice came through clearly on speaker. Already compiling it. Give me 5 minutes. Lyle's face had gone from confident red to nervous pale. He tried to recover. You're blowing this out of proportion. I was just making improvements. Tom's email arrived 4 minutes later. I opened it right there on the lawn while everyone watched. The receipts showed $8,000 in premium exterior paint, all paid in cash. But the notes Tom had added were even better. Customer asked specifically about permanent bonding properties. Customer inquired whether paint would be difficult to remove once applied. Customer asked about primer compatibility